Great, because I was just about to ask you how to go about that. So thanks for answering that question. The importance of having business acumen and investing in personal development.
Yeah, that's absolutely necessary. When you first start in business, you might have a business idea and you keep thinking it over. Like, I'll give you an example. So the third time I got laid off I was an associate dean of a nursing program.
Ooh.
And it was kind of unexpected. I was only in the role for a few months. I won't even get into details, but I almost felt like they did me a favor by letting me go.
Look, I said it. I said it. Don't ever challenge Farah. She will prove you wrong.
But, let's take it back to God and faith for a moment. I truly believe that sometimes some doors close because you're being redirected to your purpose. And I truly believe, and I joke about it, I'm like, I think God is trying to push me more into entrepreneurship and telling me, hey, you have something bigger to share, a bigger impact, and you need to do it in a different way. And the third time that it happened, I actually started laughing and I just couldn't believe it. And I said, whoa, okay. And I said, all right, so what's next? Because that's the type of mentality that nurses have, specifically as an ER nurse. We have to just keep it moving and do what's next. So when I got laid off and we were moving actually to Tampa, Florida, I knew no one in Tampa, Florida. And I said, well, what can I do? So I continued my coaching, but I said, I've always wanted to do an event for nurses. So many nurses have been coming to me asking me, hey, how did you start your business? How did you become a nurse career coach? Do you have to get certified? Did you have to go to business school? So I wrote a book called Nurses Making Money Moves in 2023.
Let me write that down. We drop that in the show notes.
Oh, yeah, I have it right here.
That's it.
And I self-published because I looked at publishing options. It was too long, too costly. So I just did it myself. And I did it literally in a couple weeks and had it published for a conference I was speaking at. So based off that book, I always said I wanted to do a conference. People kept saying, you can't do it. It's going to take a year. Like, you can't just pull it off on your own. So then in December of 2024, something just kept nagging. And it was like, do it. It was like, I just couldn't fall asleep. And then I was like, okay, literally within 2 weeks, I called a couple people and I was like, what do you think? They're like, yeah. They're like, that's a good idea. And then there was one lady who was in business for a long time. I was excited to talk to her. And she said, yeah, if I were you, I wouldn't do it. She said, you need a year. It's the holidays. It's Christmas. New Year's is around the corner. No one's going to come. But she's like, you know what? I don't your parade. Go ahead if you think it's going to work. But if I were you, I wouldn't do it. So I hung up the phone. I was like, cool, I'm doing it.
What did I say? Don't tell Farah she can't do it. And you did.
Literally within 2 weeks, I had the venue booked, all the speakers booked, and started selling tickets. And it was called Nurses Making Money Moves Conference. And it happened in March. Literally in less than 3 months, I planned the conference, had 20 different states represented, and about 80 nurses and other entrepreneurs showed up.
If you just enjoyed that video, check out the longer version right here.